So, today we are tackling something called the age of continuous connection. We're looking at a really fundamental pivot in how businesses operate, moving away from those, one-off episodic
A
interactions,
single transaction.
right, a single transaction,
Yeah.
and moving toward these persistent, data-rich relationships. We've got a ton of research here on how companies are, well, just changing how they fit into our lives.
It's a complete rewrite of the whole vendor-client relationship. I mean, the mission here is to figure out how companies are shifting from, waiting for you to call them.
To knowing what you need before you do.
Exactly, to anticipating your needs before you're even aware of them. And to get why, you have to look at the flaw in the old model, which the research calls the recognize request response cycle.
It's that friction model we've all just sort of accepted as normal. The customer, I have to do all the work, the cognitive load. If I forget to buy milk or I don't realize my car needs a service, the business just loses out. The aha moment here is shifting that load from the buyer to the seller.
That is the core opportunity. Modern companies are using data to just take over that recognition phase. If they can spot the need before you do, they capture the value.
Without you lifting a finger.
Right?
Okay, so this brings us to this concept of the efficiency frontier. Usually, business logic says you have to pick one, right? You want a low-cost operation or you want this high-touch, personalized service. You can't have both.
And that's what's so disruptive. Connected strategies actually break the basic physics of business. Usually, better service costs a fortune. But these strategies show you can lower your operational cost while hyper-personalizing the service.
It's a paradox.
It is. By using data to predict demand, you flatten that cost curve and you increase customer delight at the same time.
So let's look at how they do this. The research points to 4 specific pathways, and they seem to range from I want total control to just have the machine decide for me. First up is respond to desire.
Yeah, that's the most straightforward. It's for the customer who knows exactly what they want and they want it now. The whole goal is just removing friction, making it faster.
And then you've got curated offering. This is for someone like me who gets hit with choice overload. Instead of a menu with 1,000 items, the company uses my data to show me the 3 things I'd probably want anyway.
It just filters the noise. But the third one, that's where it gets a little more intrusive. Coach behavior.
So this is the company actively trying to change what you do.
Yeah. We see this all the time with, fitness trackers. They don't just record your steps, they nudge you to walk more. The company is acting like a partner to help you overcome your own inertia.
And the final stage, the ultimate end state, is automatic execution. This is where the agency completely shifts. The research uses Tesla as the prime example.
Right. A vehicle that detects its own tire issue and then just orders the service appointment itself without the driver doing anything.
It's totally seamless. But I imagine for that to work, you need some serious tech behind it.
Oh, absolutely. You need catalysts, specifically AI and the Internet of Things, to, sense, analyze, and then react in real time.
But here's the catch, right? You can't deliver that kind of seamless Tesla ordering its own tires experience if your own internal teams are a mess.
You can't. The whole thing falls apart. You need a connected workforce to support the connected customer.
So if you treat employees like, transactional cogs in a machine,
you lose all the agility you need. So companies are now pushing this employee connection strategy built on these pillars like care, connect, coach, and contribute.
Okay, but care, connect, coach. It sounds nice on a PowerPoint slide, but isn't there a very fine line between coaching an employee and just micromanaging them through a dashboard? How does the research separate connection from, surveillance?
That's a huge and valid concern. The distinction really lies in the goal. Is it about catching mistakes, or is it about bridging what they call the strategy execution gap?
The disconnect between the boardroom and the front lines.
Yeah. Exactly, and the data is pretty clear. When teams are actually aligned, profitability jumps 21%. And get this, turnover drops by 59%. It's about enabling performance, not just monitoring it.
Which all hinges on trust. And that brings us to the most obvious risk in all of this.
Yeah.
The creepiness factor.
Right. The second the data usage feels intrusive, the model fails. For something like automatic execution to work, you absolutely need a social contract.
But what does a social contract look like in practice? That sounds a little abstract.
It's a permission structure. It's me saying, okay, I will let you automatically order my detergent, but if you order the wrong brand or overcharge me even once, I am revoking your access forever.
So the margin for error is basically zero.
It is, which means companies can't just have a one-size-fits-all approach.
No.
They have to offer these different pathways. Some people love the full automation, others will want to approve every single transaction. Respecting that boundary is the only way this works.
So we're really moving from a world of simple transactions to a world of trusted partnerships. The company becomes a sort of companion in your life.
It does, and that raises the final big question. As these companies get better and better at anticipating our needs, at executing automatically, at what point does all that convenience cross a line into a loss of our own personal agency?
If we never have to ask for anything, do we eventually forget how to choose? That is something to consider next time your car schedules its own maintenance. Thanks for listening.